That sound like a better.
That's good. I like that. Spirit like the wind, bro.
This flow. This flow.
Precepts is going to come. Clip's going to get loaded.
Right? Yo. I already ate it. It's already feeling it. Bro, see, that's why I can't do Chipotle, bro.
I told you that, though.
Yo, what I'm talking about is in less than 5 minutes.
I told you that, bro.
All these 118,
Yeah, fellas, I ain't gonna lie. I'm at I'm a go to the bathroom. That's it off, bro.
You know how you do. So,
Hey, throw a prayer. We good.
good.
All right, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, shalom.
That's it.
We are the Hebrew Israelites coming out here week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked, weak-ass kingdom, America, spiritual Egypt, and modern-day Babylon, right? To tell you so-called Negroes like Americans should not niggas, spicks, and wetbacks for God's chosen people of the Bible, or that legendary bloodline. All right, but first and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Bahawah, Kakwadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone to teach and rule well, and peace and salutation to the hopeful elect, pushing this gospel amongst the full wisdom of truth and sincerity. You would say shalom.
Grab that Yahweh's man of war.
Yeah, if it's in the tray. Yeah.
Oh, he did it again.
This is the book of Exodus 15 and 3.
Yo. Because they eating my shorty, right? She looked at me, Kamad, and then I wasn't paying attention. I was recording my eyes, so I turned back around, and then I was like, you know, you can see from peripheral. And she was like this. She was talking to her dude. She was like, "Hey, we're going." I was like, "Fucking get in." I'm like, "Yeah, man, get in the gym. Just because your man little don't mean shit." Go down. I can.
You brought that out. Bring it out. It's a man of war. Becoming the image of the Lord. He's like, oh, look at them.
Yo, rum time. She went just like this. She looked at Kamada. She looked at me, and me and her caught eye contact. Then I'm not really sure what to do, so I just turned my head. But I had my head turned like this direction, so I see her turn and look back. And then all of a sudden, she's like this. I'm like, yeah, man, get in the gym, man. Man should be in the gym, but we ain't. That's like the top of it.
It's Exodus 15 and verse 3. It says, the Lord Yahweh is a man of war. The Lord Yahweh is his name.
Alright, so the Lord, our God, the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to whom I'm speaking to, the bloodline of Yasharallah, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, need to understand that we come from a war God. We worship a war God. And because we worship a war God, we must be in a warlike mentality. Now, what I mean by that is we need to always be prepared for the battle, man. The Lord says, make thy ready for the battle. No, that's not
You good?
But I appreciate that.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate that. Be ready for the battle, man. Now, the main reason why I don't want the brother to bring that out is because our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Our people don't understand that they have enemies on this earth, and the reason why they're in a lower state is because they can't even pinpoint their enemy, right? So I was going down a rabbit hole, not a rabbit hole, I was just, reading some scriptures and everything like that, and I came across Amos 1 in verse 6, right? And if you read Amos, it's obviously, as you read Amos 1, it'll tell you who's speaking and why, right? But it's basically talking about how, and just for edification's sake, it's Amos, who was an Israelite, speaking about how the so-called Africans, or the Hamitic people, Hamites, the original people we were warring with, those that look like us but are not us, right? And we understand this because the Lord even says that I not make differences between my people and the Egyptians. The Egyptians are Hamites. We are Israelites. We're from the line of Shem. They're not from the line of Ham. We're from the eldest son, Shem, right? And our bloodline is bequeathed through that, right? So let's be very clear. This is not about the color of your skin. It's about the bloodline you're in. But to bring this back full circle, our people are destroyed because they don't even know that they have enemies, right? They're being attacked. These so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are being attacked on all fronts. Spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, everything is geared towards you, geared towards destroying you. And all the nations have come together in hand to do this exact thing. Why do you think there's an EU, the United Nations? What do you think they're talking about behind closed doors? What tactics do they have that think about this? All nations have a piece of the pie. They got a word in the pie, right? But you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans have no king or ruler to be even part of the congregation, to be part of the pie. We don't have nobody that can represent us, right, on this earth. Don't nobody go to the UN and the EU and be like, yeah, for the African Americans, we don't have a sovereign nation, right? We don't have a sovereign nation. We don't have a country to call our own, right? Even though we are the founders of every country under the sun, but we have no home right now, right? Now we understand that we hope for a home to come, and we're talking about the kingdom of heaven. But before we get into that, let's get back to our enemies, man. Somebody also get Psalms 83, and then we're going to go over to Amos 1, right? It should give further context. So I went to Amos 1, and I was reading, and it was going into how we were warring with the Canaanite tribes, or what you would call African tribes, the Hamitic people, right? And it was a prophecy, it was a past prophecy, but also it coincides with the future prophecy of us being sentenced to slavery on slave ships, right? And we're going to get that. But first, we started off with our power is a man of war, and if we were supposed to be like him, austere, right, about the business and warrior-like, what are the characteristics of a warrior? He's usually what? Disciplined, right? He's devoted, structured. He's strong, right? He's mentally strong, because to be a warrior, you have to be mentally strong to be able to go to battle and have your life on the line and have the courage to be able to go through it and get out, or to have the and I don't want to use the word lust, but even have the joy of war, right? Our Father, who art in heaven, Yahweh, is a man of war. He loves war. And us men, think about it. Everything in a man's life is basically war. Everything in a man's life is war. When we wake up in the world, when we say, what? Now I gotta get ready for the battle. You prepare yourself to go through the mental war, the physical war, whether your job is, right? And then being a so-called Black, Latino, Native American behind enemy lines, you're already at war because everybody's against you.
I got you real quick.
Go ahead.
Sirach 40:1. Great travail is created for every man, and a heavy yoke is upon the sons of Adam from the day that they go out of their mother's womb to the day that they return to the mother of all things.
They don't even really need to break, but brother, you can break it.
These are the conditions of the battle.
Yep.
Me and Kamal were just talking about this, bro. We're born to catch hell. What's the boy say? What's the light-skinned boy? Boy, they had booked him and his brother.
Andrew Tate.
Yeah. He said, yeah, man, man's life's supposed to be hard. You know, he got that crazy accent. I mean, that's how we grow as men.
He a Jake.
Yeah.
He from the tribe of Judah.
We supposed to go through shit to grow as men. We supposed to catch hell. Adversity. That means resistance. He said, what he say? If a man got a soft life, he ain't. It's like
not really a man.
bro. We need that.
And even like I just brought up before we talked about Proverbs talks about how a man that hateth labor, roughly paraphrasing, he's not going to have riches, if you will, and those riches goes into not only just like financial riches, but wisdom, physical strength. Right? You're not going to have a strong council of men around you if you don't try to go through challenges, because
if it's not on
you only grow through resistance. That's a fact. You're not going to be able to build muscle unless you have some form of resistance in the body, whether it's in the form of weights or using your own body, but it has to be resistance. And the stronger you become, the more resistance, the more discipline. They say that. What is it? I was meditating, writing it down. It said, I wrote that the most disciplined people are those that have the most resistance, because by default, the stronger you get, the more resistance you require to grow. When you start building muscle, you're not going to be able to build muscle lifting 135 pounds anymore, unless you're lifting it for 50 reps. But at that point, your cardiovascular system will give out before your muscles do it. You're not really going to grow. So what do you have to do? You have to increase the weight, increase the load. So the most disciplined people are those that have the most resistance. So as we grow in the truth, we have to keep putting ourselves in positions of challenges. We have to always have a problem to solve. That's how men seek purpose. That's how men grow.
So Proverbs 20:4 real quick, Salaki. 24. Yeah. It says, the sluggard will not plow by reason of cold. Therefore shall he beg and harvest and have money, Salaki, and have nothing. Man that don't work, he don't eat, like you said earlier.
Also, the hands of the diligent shall be made fat.
Yeah.
Also, actually, Samak, you said it the best last camp. It says, peace makes weak men, right? Peace makes weak men. Hard times makes what? Strong men, right?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
somebody said it.
Hard with
One of
hard
your-
times.
Yeah, but yeah, I know the saying.
Yeah.
Right? But to bring this back around, our people are destroyed because they don't understand that they have enemies, or they have that cognitive dissonance of not wanting to believe that they have enemies, or not wanting to believe that so many people can hate them. Our people are literally be like, oh, there's no way they hate us this much. They don't even ask the question why, right? It's not that they hate you, it's that they hate the Lord. They hate Yahweh Bashem Yahushua because they have no correspondence with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Most people innately know that God is not with them. I seen a video, actually there's a page called
Innately?
Innately. Most people innately know that there's no God with them.
It's like in
That's
a
why
world.
do you think what is the purpose of atheism? Or what is the purpose of other doctrines? It's to make people feel like they're a part of something
they're
that
part
they,
of something, yeah.
because if I told you that God is not for everybody, right? Most people go, oh, that can't be true. Then you read the scriptures and it says exactly that.
So people will
So
go
then
from-
people, cognitive dissonance, they'll create a reality so they can feel comfortable in their own skin.
They acknowledge the generational curses by saying, I'm going to be the one to break them, but they don't ever question who put the curses on them.
Exactly. So now let's flip side that. Why do they hate you? If I got to create a false reality to make myself feel good about myself, and then the people who actually have the reality that I want have it freely, what is the natural response? Hate, envy, anger. So then I look at these people and go, wait, but I got power over them. I got more money, I got this, I got that. What is the first thing that people who have the power to oppress do? They oppress. Especially if there's hate behind it. You ask a white person right now, why do you hate black people? And most of them, well, I just feel like, I don't hate black people. Everything in your existence, the way you act, the way you move, everything shows that you hate black people. Well, I just feel, and then they're going to come up with a bunch of rhetoric. Well, they do the most crimes. No, they don't.
That's what they put on the media.
Yeah, but it's perpetuated. Basically, they don't do the most crimes. But guess what? If the police are taught to only go after black and brown people and to pull them over more and to have stricter laws concerning them, then the narrative is going to be, oh, they do more crime.
Plus, the majority of our crime is against our own people. So
But that's not even the point.
I know,
because the
but I'm
majority
saying,
of white
so,
people's
yeah.
crime is against their own
against-
people. So that's not even the point. The point is that these people hate us because they ain't us. They hate you because they have no power, and innately they know that. This is why they try so hard with their sciences to disprove our God. They changed the calendar because they didn't want to prove that there's actually 13 months and it's 28 days per month, which is 365, and there's actually 13 constellations, right? And that proves God's calendar. The new moon, the moon Sabbath, the lunar Sabbath is based off the what? God's calendar. They changed these things because they wanted to hide that.
The moon never changes.
Or how everybody, you brought it up, I think you brought it up back last camp, right? About the earth basically being immovable upon pillars, and all nations under the sun knew that there was a stop, or that how the earth was actually created, right? Because you read Genesis, it tells how the earth was created. Most nations knew about this. And not until the 15th century is when they finally changed the narrative and said, oh, Galileo and their planets, and we're spinning around the sun at a super fast. Man, shut the fuck up.
I saw a little documentary, not documentary, a little clip where it says that at that time frame back in the day it was common knowledge.
It was common knowledge. But then why did they change it? They changed it because they don't have a God, and they want to disprove the only God that is living. So they cling to falsehoods, right? And ideologies that make them feel better, because in reality, if I read the Bible and told you to your face that all you heathen are going into slavery, you're going to sit here and tell me, oh, no, not my God. You're right. Your God wouldn't say that. Well, my God is a God of war, and my God is a God of vengeance. My God is a God of what? Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
That's why the Most High loves righteousness.
Exactly.
And righteousness
and fairness.
And fairness, yeah.
The Lord is all about an equal balance, right? But like I said, our people are destroyed because they don't understand that they have enemies, right? So then, and I'm gonna I know you got Psalms 83.
No, I got something.
Get something and still get Psalms 83. And then I still want you to get Amos 1 to give
I got Amos.
the perspective. All right?
It's Deuteronomy 4. I'm gonna start at 14 and jump down I'm gonna jump down. It says Deuteronomy 4 and 14. And the Lord commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments that ye might do them in the land whither ye go over to possess it. That's what we have. And then it says, thank you. And it says, take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that the Lord spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire, lest ye corrupt yourselves and make a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female, the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that filleth in the air, the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth. Here's the point. Unless thou lift up thy eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun, the moon, the stars, even all the hosts of heaven, should have been driven to worship them and serve them, which the Lord thy God have divided unto nations under the whole heaven.
Exactly.
Give it to him.
The Lord is basically saying that you, right? You are owned by me. There's no reason for you to worship the creation and not the creator, because I only have known you of all the families of the earth. Because I went into a covenant with you and your people, you don't have to wonder. Let the other nations, the Hamites, the Edomites, the Moabites, and all the other ites, let them all wonder and make graven images of owls and eagles and mountains and all this other bullshit. You actually can tap into the source. Why the hell am I tapping into the code? Ooh, caught that. The source, the code is what? Created. The source is the creator. Source, code. Simple as that, man. Right? So then, if you peel back the layers of the onion of understanding, this is why our people are destroyed, because all these other nations have come together to bring strong delusions, because they'd rather you be with them than they be with you. Yeah, they know, bro. They know. I watched a video. It's a TikTok channel called The Loser Edomite. Hilarious as all hell. The Loser Edomite, and all they post is Edomites doing shit. So this one Edomite was in a car and yelling at another Edomite. The Edomite was like, "I'm going to pray for you." And the Edomite in the car was like, you better not fucking pray for me. You don't pray for me. I don't need your damn prayers. I don't need prayer. They know innately that nothing, no prayer, no spirituality. Why do you think they're so carnal? They're so void of the Most High that what's up, brother? How you? They're so void of the Most High that all they can do is be carnal. Why do you think their God is mammon? Money, currency. Why do you think everything they do is about greed, taking? I need to control, power. They don't want money, they want power. Because at the end of the day, money means nothing to the person who's printing the money. So if I'm printing the money, why do I need money? I don't need money, I need the energy coming off these people. I need their power. That's what they need. And when you have that understanding, you go, okay, whoa. But why do they need this power? And then you go down a rabbit hole, and you start breaking down the bloodlines. You start reading the scriptures, the righteous path, and you start to realize there's a chosen bloodline that's basically being drained of their energy since, whoa, why is this one bloodline? Then you realize that this is the children of Israel. And that they know that as long as they have the children of Israel in captivity, they will also be good. Because they know once we are free, their end is coming. Because at the end of the day, why do you think they hate us? Why do you think they push so hard for segregation, to abolish segregation? You think it was a so-called black man who got rid of segregation? No, it was the Rothschilds that put it in there, because they realized, oh shit.
They knew that if they integrated us, they could docile us.
They could docile us and control us, because every time, because segregation was showing them how powerful we were. Black Panther movement.
When we were segregated, we were united. Why? Because we knew we had a common enemy.
Yeah, we knew.
But now they took that out of our people's minds, and now our people don't even think they have enemies.
Exactly.
They forget about. And then 60 years ago, your grandmother didn't live through lynching and shit.
And if you really believe Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, you got a rude awakening. Go look up the Gullah Wars. Go look up what's really happening. Our people were fighting back, and we actually took our power from them. Yo, it's a lot that they don't want to put you in the history book.
That's why so many terms.
They'll tell you, oh yeah, Abraham Lincoln was a good old man. He freed the slaves. No.
Gotta be a white man.
There was a war going on between the tribes. There was a war going on between Native Americans, or we already know they're Israelites, and of the tribes, the 12 tribes, and that had power, right? That were fighting this civil war. They don't tell you about this stuff. Look up the Gullah Wars. I implore you to go look up the Gullah Wars, and you're going to realize that we actually forced them to give us a freedom. Not in the sense what you think, but they had to give it up because we were too powerful. So you already know Esau is good with what? The pen in his mouth. Oh, well, look, we'll give you your independence as long as you guys stop fighting and killing and doing this and doing that and then, yeah. Because he was scared. Segregation, it was all well and said. Segregation was a beautiful thing for them until they realized that we were rising. They integrated us into a burning house on purpose because it was for control. It's a tactic of war. I'm going to take the smartest, the brightest of them, and I'm going to integrate them into our systems so they can empower us instead of empowering his own people. Because if we take the leaders out of their communities, right, they won't grow. Because look what happened with the Black Panther movement. What was the whole point of the Black Panther movement? It was to protect their neighborhoods from the racist cops, the KKK, and the government. And it was working. It was working. So they had to do a CIA psyop, waited till these motherfuckers would sleep in a crib and ran in there and killed them all. Bloody murder, and just said, oh yeah, they were terrorists. And then this is what the government does. Oh, with the pen, they were terrorists, so we had to go in there because we were in front of our eyes. It killed all of them. And the rest of them flee. They did dismantle them. Yep, mind you, the whole, another part of that is this, the whole feeding the communities, right? Fred Hampton and them, they were feeding the poor and the kids. You know what the government did? Damn, they're becoming more and more powerful. Let's abolish what they're doing, make it illegal, and then now let's make our own feed the kids school program. So now it looks like they're doing something good, which actually desensitize our people to believe that these people are trying to help us. You people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. This is war. Esau is at war while you playing tag. Esau is at war while you're playing tag. These other nations are at war while you're playing tag. All right? Now we're going to go ahead and pinpoint. I'm actually going to brought up Psalms 83, but I want Psalms 83 to show you that, yes, Africans are not African American. And African American is a slur term. It's a slur that was literally created in like 1988. It's a new term that they're trying to pinpoint us, man. How is it that you got Asian American, you got Black American, Indian American, but white people are only called American? When you're from Europe, they're classifying you as a different class in their kingdom. You behind enemy lines, man. Go ahead, Psalms 83.
Psalms 83 at the top. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
The enemies make a tumult, and though they that hate you, look, two things: your enemies and they hate you. I just gave you an understanding of why they hate you. They have no God. There's no redemption for their souls other than serving the children of Israel. What's up, brother? How you? Other than serving the children of Israel and what? In servitude, slavery. It's the only thing they're going to get. And if we have mercy on them, that's the only mercy that they get. But they have no continuing city after this. They have no, and mind you, when I say have no continuing city, this is what I mean by that. We already know after 1,000 years that the other nations will get their lands. But guess what? That's not a continuing city because that's going to be of our nation. They're going to be fucking tribute to our nation. Like the Roman Empire, it's going to be the Israelite Empire. And what person, where are you from? Oh, I'm from China, China in Israelite. I'm from China subdivision of the Israelite Empire. I'm from Moab, something. Bro, it's all part of our empire because what does it say? It says our gates shall be open continuously and they're going to be bringing in the forces, meaning they're going to be bringing in their goods. That means that they're all under what? Under subjection to the Hebrew Israelites. That is the new world order that's actually coming to the planet. Go ahead. But this is why this new world order is going to be established. Because these people are enemies of God. aka enemies of Yahweh Shem Shai, aka enemies of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And this is the only thing that got coming for them because this is what they deserve. Go ahead.
Verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut off them from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. They have
See, look, why is it saying, and that doesn't bother you? How is it that all these nations came together to say, hey, let us cut them off from being a nation? Let's cut their name out of history so it's no longer in remembrance. Let's get rid of all their true history, the Tartarian empires and all this other stuff. Yes, look into that. That was also our kingdom. That was during the Dark Ages, for the Byzantine empires, the Tartarian empires, and all the freaking cities and free energy all over the world. That was ran by who? Israelites. But they don't want to tell you about that.
One passage in that Jeremiah 2:14 is proof. Is Israel a homeborn slave?
Exactly.
I mean,
What?
marriage is lost.
And it says, what nations have not parted their spoils? So it goes to show that every nation had an end, therefore why every nation was going to have to pay and so forth.
It was funny. You know what's funny about these other nations? They love our culture and everything that we represent, but don't like us. And they're quick to tell us that they don't like us as soon as they can show us they don't like us. They're quick. Think about it, right? Think about it. I got you. I got something. Think about it. A Hamite will literally copy off our culture, our dress code, everything about us. But as soon as they be like, oh, go down to the Carabana Festival, they be like, oh, Black Americans shouldn't be coming to the Carabana Festival. They ain't got nothing to do with them. Everything about your fucking culture was copied by us, copied from us. You ain't got no business going to the damn Carabana Festival if you want to be honest. Where you learn about them drums, that percussion, the way you dress, the way you dance, all that shit came from our people. But they be quick. They be quick to be like, yeah, all cool with us until something about them is, oh yeah, they having a Caribbean festival. Oh, you ain't Caribbean, you can't come. Are there people not scattered amongst all of that? Yeah, but you don't even, you as a slave, you don't even know where you come from. Oh, so you not me no more? That's how quick they are to throw that shit in your face. How quick they are to try to distance themselves from you, but they want everything about you. They copy you in everything they do. Go ahead.
This is verse Psalms 83. I'm gonna read four again, going to the point. They have said, come and let us cut off from them being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are all confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. The tabernacles of Edom. The Ishmaelites.
White people, Arabs, go ahead.
Moab.
Chinese,
The Hagarenes.
Africans,
Gabal.
that's basically more
Like Turkey.
Turkish
like,
area. I mean,
Ammon.
Mediterranean. Ammon is Japanese.
Amalek.
Amalek is the chief house of Esau. So Edomites and Amalek. Go ahead.
That says
And Amalek was Slack, and Amalek was Esau's grandson. Old as shit.
They are. It says the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Which is also more Africans. That's all Africa.
Ashur also is joined with them.
All Africans.
And they have hoped in the children of Lot, Salah.
And hope with the children of Lot. The children of Lot is Moab and what? Ammon, right? They're incest babies, right? So it's literally telling you that all the other nations under the heaven, they hated you and they're your enemies, and they've all come to a confederation and said, hey, yo, we need to cut them off. What do you think the EU, United Nations, and all this League of Nations, all that shit is? It's the same shit. Ain't nothing new under the sun. These same nations come in and think about it. The whole world has known that we've been in slavery. The whole world has seen the Black Lives Matter movement. The whole world has watched how America has treated the so-called African Americans, the Native Americans, and the Hispanics, Latinos in this country. And not one nation has stood up and said, yo, let's go help them.
Right.
Why? Because it's the same people who have hated you since the beginning. They don't care as long as their hands are not in it. Right? As long as they're not being blamed for it. Because they also understand, man, you think these leaders don't come together and like, yo, man, these Israelites starting to wake up. Yo, we got to figure out how to oppress them. All right, kick them out of the militaries. We're going to roll back DEI. Did you see how over 3 million so-called black women lost their jobs in the past 3-4 months? All because they rolled back DEI? First, they used you women to come after us. And then when they was done with you, they threw you in the trash. Now you out here depressed, fat, ugly, no money.
Remember the rise of...
And then the men that you fucking destroyed and helped destroy don't even want you no more.
Yo, remember the rise of the 2018 or 19 when the rise of so-called African Americans was making a lot of money in Airbnbs, and they saw that rise of an increase, and then they
made so many black millionaires in that 2-year span.
Yep.
They said, "Oh nope, nah."
They cut that shit
Every time.
He was like, "No, too many of them get bread."
So this is their MO, man. This is their MO. So I was going down the rabbit hole. So we already know that these nations are enemies, right? I was going down I don't want to say rabbit hole because it's just some reading. And I got into Amos, right? Going to Amos 1. And it literally talks about how our original enemy was originally the Africans, right? Canaan, the land of Canaan, and the different tribes in the land of Canaan. Because Africa is a continent, people. When I say African, I'm not just talking about, this here or that there. No, I'm talking about all them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And when you read about it, it's literally talking about how the Africans was warring against us and how they was the ones who gave us into the Edomites. And I'm like, oh shit, we already knew this because we already got into the history, but it was still written.
What they trade us for? Cinnamon and sugar and horses and shit.
Dumb shit, man.
Fucking salt.
Yeah, like we was nothing. Little did they know by getting rid of us also destroyed them. Because look how Africa's been ever since. They're ruled over by the Edomites. By us being there, we was keeping them motherfucking devils out. What? Prophecy's prophecy. Go ahead.
Amos 1 from the top. The words of Amos, who was among the herdmen of Tekoa, which he saw concerning Israel in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel, 2 years before the earthquake. And he said, the Lord will roar from Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and inhabitations of the shepherd shall mourn, and the top of Carmel shall wither. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Damascus and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have crushed Gilead with crushing instruments of iron. But I will send a fire into the house of Hazael, which shall devour the palaces of Ben-Hadad. I will break also the bar of Damascus and will cut off the inhabitants of the plain of Hamath.
This was a past prophecy, but you can also tie it to the future prophecy. And hear me out. It's talking about African nations and Arab nations, right? It's talking about African nations and Arab nations, brother.
Yeah, what I'm saying, you might as well.
It's talking about African nations and Arab nations and what the Lord is going to do to these nations because of what they did to the children of Israel and what hand they had in our destruction, right? As he keeps reading, it's talking about it. So it's talking about Manchu. Isn't Damascus or Syria still a war heat? Isn't it still nothing but proxy wars over there? Isn't Palestine a war-torn? Right? It's going to keep reading. It's going to break all that down. So the Lord was talking about what was happening back then, but guess what? It came full circle because it's still happening right now. So the Lord's promise to these people that he's going to destroy them is still prevalent. That's the crazy part that most people not even look. Read.
Back in 5, it says, and him that holdeth the scepter from the house of Eden, and the people of Syria shall go into captivity unto Kir.
Now the scepter means the kingship of the house of Eden. Eden, what is it? Where is it? So, what they say was in what? That fertile land was in Africa somewhere. This is what they say. Or it could be somewhere else. Who knows? Right? I know we ain't there no more.
Most likely it's in Africa.
Most likely because that's where that was the cradle of life, right? So this is what it's saying. The scepter, the king, or the person, the ruler of this land. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Gaza and for 4.
Gaza? What's going on in Gaza? The Gaza Strip. Palestine. You can't make this shit up. Go ahead.
I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they Carried away captive the whole captivity to deliver them up to Edom.
Oh.
Shit.
Why do you think these people are still getting fucked up?
That's crazy.
Why you say because of what they've done to Israel? So these Arab nations are now what, being destabilized, and wars about to fly through them. And then also then you got these Africans. Their whole nation, Africa itself, has basically been a cesspool or a tribute unto the Edomite. Yeah, they're trying to fight back, but how long it's going to take you to fight back? By the time y'all finally start getting some skin in the game, the Lord going to be back, and you still going to get fucked up. This is why you see it happening. Now, are some of our people in Palestine? Yes. That's another reason why they destroying them people. Because in 70 AD, when the Roman persecution came down, that great insurrection, a lot of our people fled into the mountains, right? Which is what? Going deeper into Africa. But a lot of our people stayed there, which is now modern-day Palestine. This is why when you go look over there, a lot of those people resemble what? Jake. A lot of them even admit that they part of Jake. I watched a whole video, I think I brought it out a couple months ago, of a Palestinian that was having a flex, Black Lives Matter. They was out there protesting for us, heavy protest for us, right? Why do you think DJ Khaled got the pass? He Palestinian, he a clown though, because he a Palestinian, he ain't say not one thing about his people being destroyed. Why? Because he's owned. He's owned by Esau. Simple as that. He's a seller, he sold his soul. He's gonna die a terrible death. No loyalty, man. No loyalty. But at the end of the day, these people in Palestine were marching for Black Lives Matter because a lot of them, I remember watching the video, and the one guy was like, the reporter was like, to the Palestinian guy, so why haven't you left this land? He said, my people have been here forever. Generation. He said, my people that left there were sent into slavery or ships to America. He literally said this on national TV. They cut that shit quick. Why do you think they're going so hard over there? Why do you think they're going so hard over there? Because the remnant of Israel is still there. That's why. They don't know who is who. They like, all right, kill them all.
It's kind of how Esau's whole strategy for cancer. It's like you gotta kill the cells because a cancer cell basically replicates the cell and then it pollutes other cells. And that's how it spreads. So they want to get rid of all. We gotta cleanse this land of all Jake, bro. Because if you leave just one, it'll grow, bro.
That's the wheat, bro. That parable of wheat and tares. They all grow up looking the same until it's fully harvested. You be able to see what's what. It's a lot here, bro. We was talking about the Amos. I ain't know that was in the same chapter.
Oh, yeah, same thing.
Transactions, they eat them.
Yeah.
It ties into it.
And it keep going.
It shows we eat them.
And this is, remember, so these Arabs and these Africans gave us up because we were warring with them. They were enemies too. They hated us because of what we was doing too. Like, let's keep it real. Catching a wreck out there. Look at the stories of King David, the war king.
It makes sense though when you think about why Ishmael and aside from Esau, why Ishmael and like Ham or Canaan would be our #1 enemies, because Ishmael being the unpromised son, right? Because he was the son of Abraham, but he didn't get the promise. Isaac did.
He got his little blessing, you know.
He got his little blessing, but he didn't get the blessing of the kingdom. That means nothing.
Exactly.
So,
no, how would you feel? Oh, hey.
I'm a blessing on earth, but in the end,
and he labeled a prince, not a king.
Like you get this blessing of princes, but you can't have
it's gonna come to an end. I'm gonna give you a blessing, you're gonna be rich, but it's gonna come to an end. But them, they're gonna reign for eternity.
What do Esau and Ishmael got in common? They was both firstborn sons, and they both got their blessing, and they were blessed.
And then we literally warred with Canaan, and we took over their land. And we was warring with them ever since.
Remember, Canaan was cursed though, but it was
Canaan was cursed.
Exactly. Canaan was cursed, and that's why the Lord allowed us to. They was on that. Looking at naked bodies and shit.
The Lord really showed that he didn't care about them.
Can you imagine that though? So like, not even get on topic. Noah naked, drunk through his vineyard. He coming in, yo, look at that, he naked as shit. Japheth and Shem like this. Tripping, wilding, bro.
Yeah, that shit ain't funny.
He over here with
He probably had lustful thoughts.
Right,
and
going off and
was
shit.
like,
Yeah.
yo, he got a
Right.
Yo, nigga probably had lustful thoughts too, man.
he got that face like.
Hey, the scriptures ain't going
Japheth
to
ain't- right.
It's a reason why the Lord cursed the
Scriptures don't go with you.
You don't know what transpired outside of the
Because
scripture.
he cursed the shit out of him, so that was a
Somebody
heavy
can tell
curse.
you a story, but you won't understand the full context if you weren't there. The reason why? Because you don't know facial expressions, you don't know all the extra words that were said,
You don't know the
you don't know the
thoughts.
thoughts. This man probably think, ooh, dad look good, or some crazy shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He might have been a Mo. He might have been a Mo at birth. That might have been his test from the Lord, and he failed.
Noah was offended ttill he's mad as shit. What the fuck, bro?
Exactly, man. You know, I know you still got more of that. So,
Amos 7, 1 and 7. But I will send a fire on the wall of Gaza, which shall devour the palaces thereof.
Whoa. On the walls of Gaza that devour the palaces? Mind you, who was living in that land at the time? Right? It was Africans. Not what you see over there now, all them light-skinned motherfuckers. We talking about them numbers was chocolate at the time. We know the migration patterns. Go ahead.
And I will cut off the inhabitant from Ashdod, and him that holdeth the scepter from Ashkelon. And
Ashdod is that's Ishmael. It's like modern day Turkey and stuff like that, because they was worshiping the crescent moon. I remember that because I remember studying about Moloch, the crescent moon god, and Ashdod, one of the main gods of their civilization. Is that's how I know it was Arab. That Ishmaelites.
And plus, when you go into like the Turks,
Yep.
the Ottoman Empire
Yep.
and all that, yep, heavy Muslims, bro. It says, and I will turn my hand against Ekron, and the remnant of the Philistines shall perish, saith Yahweh thy God. Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remembered not the brotherly covenant.
Right.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, and mind you, what was the brotherly covenant? Let's go back. We might have warred with these nations, but what does the Lord say? Have peace with all men if possible. So after a war, you stay in your land, we stay in our land, we ain't messing with you, you ain't messing with us. Yo, you want to trade? Because we used to trade with Egypt. Remember, we used to trade with Egypt. We would go down to other nations like, yo, I know y'all got corn and shit. I'm not saying corn, let's give it a crop, okay? Yo, I know y'all got this certain crop. Yo, we got some precious silks and stuff that we made from our silkworm. Y'all want to trade? Remember, we were always merchants.
In the time of Joseph, it was corn.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
In the time of Joseph, it was, bro. That's the spirit.
It was. So look, we were merchants, right? We were men of money, men of war and men of money. We were ruling shit. But guess what? That brotherly covenant, what he meant was, yo, have peace with all men if possible. If we ain't, it's a time for war, it's a time for peace. And right now we have peace. But because we had peace and you ready for war, you go ahead and stab us in the back because we probably had treaties. Hey, yo, we're gonna leave y'all alone. Y'all gonna leave y'all alone. Y'all gonna worship y'all God. Y'all gonna God. Yo, y'all can't mess with none of our women. We ain't gonna marry none of our sons to y'all daughters. All right? We already took what we got. It's us. You stay over there. Stay over there. That was the brotherly covenant. Let bygones be bygones. Be peaceable. Right? But guess what? These motherfuckers, the so-called white man came up to the shores. Yo, we scared to come up in here, man. We still got that Mark Cain on us, and they gonna kill us if we come to these motherfuckers. So, I know y'all got anybody y'all want to sell? We give y'all some gold and precious metals and shit like that. Yo, man, we got these Israelites that been in our land for the past couple hundred years. They not really us. We don't fuck with them like that.
Taking over and shit.
You know, we don't really like them like that because why? Jealousy. They're too powerful. They're standing army. Their philosophy. Their God. Their money. Their innovation. And all the things that we represent. Same thing like today. The so-called Black, Latino, Native Americans created everything around you. From fashion to the way you speak, your lingo, the car, the internet, the phone, the TV, and so far and so on. Without us, there is no civilization. But what does that create? Envy. So these nations, Esau was like, yo, y'all got somebody to sell? Yeah, so guess what? Wars broke out. And because the wars broke out, we were what? POWs, prisoners of war, and they sold unto Esau. Who were the what? FJs. Who were the FJs? Because who owned all the slave ships? Yeah, go do your research. All right.
Brad, this for edification's sake. It's Genesis 9:24. And Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him. It says, and he said, cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, blessed be the Lord Yahweh, the power of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And Yahweh shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant.
See?
So we're not the only nation that was cursed. Our curse is for our benefit.
Yo, but look, Japheth at the time was allowed to chill with us. He was like, yo, Japheth, you go chill with your big bro, because Shem was the oldest, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think Shem was the oldest.
Yeah, because Ham is the youngest.
Yeah, go. That's hilarious, because even in my family, the youngest is gay. Fucking hilarious, bro. Hemedica. I'm gonna start calling him Hemedica. You a whole Medica. You know what I'm saying? But Hemedica. Right? So basically, Ham was cursed, right? But this is why Ham was cursed.
Sodom and Africa. Sodom and Africa.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all.
They were all 5 of them cities.
That was all in Africa.
All Hamitic.
They were all Hermeticus.
I think they try to. They say it's like somewhere around like
The surrounding 5.
like.
I'm gonna look
Well,
it
you
up.
gotta remember, the Middle East is nothing but Northeast Africa. You know what I mean? So it's like somewhere. I forgot what they said, like
Hermetica.
Iraq or some shit like that.
They were straight Hamites. Hamites.
I think they speculate it's like somewhere around like
Canaanite city.
Canaanite, yeah.
Sodom goes back to the word burning, man. Usually paired with Gomorrah located. Yeah, it was a Canaanite city. That's great. I just thought this one.
Bro, the reason why we know that is because remember when Abraham and Lot, because they drove two bars, they had to split. But where did that land was carved out at? It was carved out in Africa. Right?
Oh, it all makes sense, bro.
Yeah, bro.
The deeper you get into it, the Lord will reveal it, man.
You on that hammy shit, bro.
It's a dome.
Alright? But people are people, like I said, like I said, our people are destroyed because they don't understand they have enemies. And then once you know that you have enemies, your life actually becomes a lot simpler. Because I know these people hate me, so I treat them as such. I don't allow them to become too close as friends. I don't sit there and shake hands and party with them. I don't do any of those things, man. I might dibble and dabble in their women, but that's supposed to war. Other than that, I literally keep them at an arm's distance because I know they are willing to kill me at any given moment. Your best friend could be white since birth. Y'all grew up together, but let the race wars kick in. Think he ain't gonna choose his own people over you? He gonna be like, hey man, hey Billy, I gotta go, man. Look, you're my friend, bro. I try to tell him not to kill you, but I can't die too. Bro, it ain't no love. It ain't no love, dog. It ain't no brotherly love. The scripture talks about it's a beautiful thing for a man to die for his friends, man. They don't have that in them. They might die for one another. You hear Braveheart and all these fucking movies and shit showing their bravery. These motherfuckers ain't brave. They're bloody men, man. They're bloody men. What you got?
Father the devil.
I think it was like maybe like nah, it's going in. Now, I can finish it out. I'm gonna finish it out. Amos 1 and 11. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom and 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. And because he did not pursue his brother, because he did pursue his brother with his sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. But I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the palaces of Basra. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of the children of Ham and of 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have ripped up the women of the children of Gilead, that they might enlarge their border. But I will kindle a fire in the wall of Abba, and it shall devour the palaces thereof with shouting in the day of battle, and with tempest in the day of the whirlwind. Last one. And their king shall go into captivity. He and his princes together, saith the Lord. Hey, so all nations are going to go into captivity, right? Because of the transgressions. Right? So they're all going to go into captivity because ultimately going into ultimately because of what they did to the children of Israel. Right? So that's the recompense that we got coming for us, and that's the patience of the saints. So that's why we come out here, we teach His word, we be patient in season, out of season, and we kind of just go through this life with the focus of doing His work. All right, so we don't really do too much or anything else. All right.
I got you. We can transition in that perpetual hatred. That's mad precepts on that.
Yeah, I take a 35.
Yeah, look, it's out here 25 and 12, 35 and 5.
5, 6,
Yeah, yup. I break it down. Some real shit, man. We start with it's Psalms 130. Nah, you know what? Lamentations 4 and 21. It says, "Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that thou," it says, "thou dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins."
Yeah, so the Most High is going to take that cup, right? That cup, it signifies judgment, curses, destructions, so on and so forth. And that cup is going to be taken from us. And because we're at the end of our captivity here. So the Most High is not putting us into another captivity. This here in America, this is our last captivity. And from this, it's only up from here. So once the Most High puts us in our land, we're never going to lose our land ever again. Why? Because of the new covenant pursuant to Jeremiah 31st chapter. And Yahweh Shai, where he came down to fulfill that covenant, right? Basically, he stamped the covenant. Now, this is the thing though, a contract has a date of when it goes into effect. We have not come into that date yet. All right, but the contract is signed. The blood has been shed. So now we're just waiting until the contract date.
It's like that latter end of that contract got a visible ink you can't see.
Yep. It's like you sign a lease for an apartment or something. You sign the contract and everything. You got the terms and stipulations, but the moving date is on the 1st and it's the 15th. All right. So our captivity is coming to an end. Our curses are coming to an end as the scriptures go into. I'm probably sure one of your brothers will grab it. But now Esau.
Isaiah 41. It basically says our warfare is accomplished.
Exactly.
Meaning that we at the end of it.
Yep. So now Esau is going to take of that cup. They're going to have to take up first the curses is going to come upon them, and then they're going to have to taste that cup of slavery. But their slavery is going to be 100 times worse than our slavery, and rightfully so, because our slavery was because of our own doing and demise. But y'all went above and beyond. So now the Most High is going to allow us to recompense 10 times, 100 times over. And it's going to be a long 1,000 years, man. Long 1,000 years. Go ahead.
Real quick. It's Jeremiah 49 and 11, 49 and 12. Just to back up what you said. But thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it.
Yup. Hey, that's all the heathens, specifically the Edomites. Alright? Y'all had the blessing of the sword and the fatness of the earth, and y'all used it and abused it. And now y'all have to taste of what we had to go through. Why? Because ultimately it's the Most High story, and it was going to play out how it was going to play out. But in the end, ultimately, we are destined for salvation and life eternal, and glory and blessings, and power and rulership. But you Edomites, y'all are not destined for that, but y'all had it. So now the things are going to be flipped upside down, right side up, and we're going to rule, and you're going to be enslaved, and you're going to be cast away.
This is Ezekiel 35. Start at the top. It says, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate.
Yeah, so we come as messengers of the Most High, right? As the oracles of the Most High, if you will. And we prophesy against Mount Seir, which Mount Seir is pretty much just goes into Esau Edom. Right? That's the house of Esau. So we prophesy against Esau's kingdom, their rulership, their empire. We prophesy against it, and we tell you the judgment that's going to come. And you people don't want to hear it, especially you regular Joe six-pack Edomites. Y'all don't know nothing, man. Y'all going to be miserable. But the elites, they know what's coming. That's why they're trying to do everything in their power to accomplish the New World Order. That's the scriptures prophesied that they're going to try to do.
Look, it's Joel 3 and 9.
Yeah, I got a little more. Yeah, it's okay. Ezekiel 35:4. I will lay the cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
Yep. So that perpetual hatred, which goes into a forever, right, from the beginning of time, and it will go on to the end. That's why Esau has to be essentially eradicated, because as long as they live, they'll never be able to get over that perpetual hatred. Whereas the rest of the heathen, once they get their judgment and they come into servitude, they're going to be good. Because because they didn't have that perpetual hatred like Esau does. All right, because when you go to back into the history, which ultimately was prophecy, Esau and Jacob, they were warring in the womb, bro. They were fighting in the womb in Rebecca, right? Rebecca's belly.
Yeah.
Rebecca's belly. All right, they were warring from the beginning of time, and that comes all the way up until today from the beginning of time. It never changed, bro. And a thing changed. So this is what the Most High is talking about. And you people show your perpetual hatred against us. All right, all the way from how you oppress us economically, socially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Everything you do is set up against our people here. That's why Malachi says that this is not our rest. Malachi says this is not our rest. That's why we don't sit here, we don't seek to have true enjoyment and pleasure here in America. All right, we have our little hobbies and our little pastimes and so on and so forth. We try to make the best of our situation, but ultimately we know that we're gonna have oppression here, and shit ain't never gonna go our way until we have our king, until Esau's out of rulership. That's right. So we prophesy against y'all. We come out here boldly, and we're coming and speaking up to the words of the Most High. Whether you people hear or forbear, it doesn't matter to us, because guess what? Does your unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? How will forbid?
He said, fear not the imagination, the incredulity.
Yup.
Those that don't believe, but be paraphrased.
Your unbelief just makes the prophecies that much better when it actually comes. Like when it says in the Wisdom of Solomon, y'all gonna sit here and be like, yo, we really thought these niggas wasn't shit. We thought they was the scum of the earth. This is the last thing we expected them to have such a glorious and flamboyant salvation, and for us to have such a devastating destruction. And then, like complete, like the Most High is gonna have overkill on you people, just to show you that there's nothing you can do. You're powerless.
Yeah, I can't eat real quick. This is the reason why CU35 and 5 exists. Genesis 27 and to the point, 41. No. Matter of fact, 40 is the blessing, and then I'll go to 41. It says Genesis 27 and starting 40, and by the sword shalt thou live, which is Isaac giving Esau's blessing, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Here's the point. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing whereof his father blessed him. Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother. And that's perpetual.
That was the beginning.
That was the beginning of all the fuckery.
And they say Revelations, he that liveth, basically he that killeth with the sword shall be killed with the sword. He live in the captivity, shall go into captivity. Us putting you people in captivity is recompensing. Because we didn't lead people into captivity. And even when we had servants or slaves, we dealt justly with our slaves. And we had a law, right? And we had a law that when they left, you had to leave. They went with what they had. They chose to stay. They chose to stay. And we had a year jubilee. So we didn't have perpetual slaves. It was like, yo, you got 7 years. Your debt is paid.
You know what? And what's crazy is, there's countless. A matter of fact, our law is when the brother who was in servitude or where he was at, he liked it so much. Also had found a wife in the household. He ended up getting like an earring, which would be like a board, whatever that is in the ear. And what that would do is that will allow him to actually stay in the household and stay where he was at.
But Esau would do with slaves. When we was slaves, we were to get a wife. They'll take your wife, they'll pop her in front of you, and they'll make a bunch of heathen babies by her, and then eventually break y'all up and separate y'all. That's what the heathen did. We ain't do no wicked shit like that, man. But in the kingdom,
Esau, man.
y'all just gonna have kids just to continue on until the Lord say no. Time to kill them all.
Continue the workforce.
Yep. Ain't letting y'all have no wives, no pleasure, nothing, bro. It's just go breathe time. Making new Edomites so they can go in the slave. As soon as they come out, like Ariah said, as soon as they come out the womb, slapping chains on them.
All right, get it.
strongest Edomites. It's Obadiah 1 and 10. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And the day that thou stoodest on the other side, and the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. It says, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity.
Yeah, so it's basically the modern day term for what that just said is basically Esau was kicking us while we were down.
Took sides with the enemy.
Exactly. It's like, okay, it's you sitting back waiting. You know, you got people that hate you and you're doing something. They're sitting back and they're waiting for your downfall. And as soon as you fall, then it's opportunity. Now they join in with your enemies and they kicking you while you're down. They seizing the opportunity to what? To now assume power and authority. All right, that's exactly what they did. It's a conniving, thieving state because they're not. It's like a vulture. Vultures normally, typically, if I'm correct, they typically don't hunt their prey. What they do is they sit high up and they wait for prey to die, and then they go down and they scavenge.
And they have a high sense of knowing you're about to.
Yup, and they'll sit there and they'll stalk you. Yup, they'll fly so and they'll stalk you. As soon as you die, boom, they come and eat your flesh. All right, that's how Esau is. The vultures, bro. They're scavengers. They don't really hunt for their prey, and if they do it deceitfully. They'll poison you. They'll set traps. But they won't fight you head on because they have no power to fight. They only have the power the Most High was giving them, which is a sword. And that sword even goes into being cunning, right? Cunning.
You remember when, I believe it was the account of King Saul, right? When he died, he fell on his sword after he asked his arm bearer to kill him. Arm bearer didn't do it, so he fell on his sword rather than be killed by, I believe it was the Philistines.
Oh yeah.
And his arm bearer fell on his sword, right? So it was this. They don't know what his nationality was, but he claimed to be an Amalekite, right? Came across King Saul's body, took his crown, and he took his bracelet, and he took it to King David, and was like, "Yo, I'm from the tribe of Amalek, but I live in your land." King David, he basically told King David that King Saul was dead, and he lied and said that he killed King Saul, but he was already dead. You feel me?
Yeah.
Prior to this, I was just doing some. I just jumped back in the sand. That's why I'm bringing this up. So basically, Amalek had just raided our villages, and this is when they had kidnapped our women and children. This nigga didn't know that, obviously, because he wouldn't have came to David like, "Yo, I'm from Amalek. I killed King Saul because he wanted me to, but." And then I got his crown, trying to present it to him as a gift. King David, yeah, so what you say happened? Where are you from, nigga? Right? So after that, he mourned and all that, and they said, "Yo, put this nigga to death, man." You know what I mean? Because he said, "How dare you had a pride, basically, to kill one of the kings of the lords of Noah." You know what I mean? Though they was, remember they had smoke, they was beefing.
They was beefing for a minute.
I believe King David had 3 opportunities to put Saul to death, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Why? Because grab Leviticus 19 and 18 real quick. Bubba can show. You know what I mean? Because it was basically he's still the Lord's anointed. And then he claimed to be from Amalek, who just raided our did all that. So it's the Lord lined that nigga up. I went into the commentary, they don't know who he was, but they basically called him a scavenger, bro. He was just a scavenger. A heathen that was, after the war, after the Philistines and the battle between the Philistines and King Saul, and the sons, they died, he was just scavenging the land.
I get it.
He came across King Saul, took his crown, because the Philistines wouldn't have left him. The Philistines came by, they cut his head off, and his crown wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? But they put all that shit like a display box. This King Saul shit, but his crown was missing. So whoever took his crown, he came before the Philistines got there. Because the Philistines would have got his crown. They had his armor, they had everything else. They had his sword, they didn't have his crown. You know what I mean? He took the and they didn't even say his name, they just called him an Amalekite. You know what I'm saying? But I went into the commentary basically saying that he claimed to be an Amalekite, but he was just a scavenger.
Yeah, boy. He took right. Yeah,
I think the Lord put the spirit on him to say that so he could put him to death.
Yeah, take whatever's on the dead body.
Yeah. That's basically law, bro. How we not
Go ahead and bring it out. Leviticus 19:18 to the point. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
And that's what David was moving on. David was moving on that. Though the Lord had put the spirit, he sent demons on King Saul. And prior to King David's kingship, King David was the one playing the, was it a flute to take the spirit off of him.
It's crazy because, like you said, this Amalekite came to him and was like, yo, I killed Saul. If David would have bear a grudge, he is.
Right.
Shit.
He clearly
And
didn't know who King David
was. Like,
was.
yo, how dare you kill the Lord's anointed?
Right.
Nigga, I don't care what we had going on. That was between us. You had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, bro.
What this nigga did?
And I believe it was in 1 Samuel 30. It was like a chapter before that count when the Amalekites raided our villages. So out of all nations, he claimed to be an Amalekite.
Oh, yeah, he fucked
The
that
Lord,
up.
that was the Lord, bro. He said, yeah, I'm an Amalekite, but I live in your land. I seen King Saul, and he told me to kill him because he was already going to die. So I killed him, took his crown, and I brought it to you. Thought he was going to get rewarded or something. He was just a heathen, bro. The Lord, that was just his way of going out.
Also,
Lights him up, bro.
and also, what does that also prove? Like we talked about earlier, that heathen nations do not have a law or anything to stand on.
bro.
Because our law would say that's bullshit, but he ain't understand what our law was, which obviously proves that he was a fucking Israelite, and that's why he fucked up.
Damn sure wasn't an Israelite.
He fucked that up. No, bro.
It was beautiful, bro. Just I was reading that yesterday.
Because he was an Israelite, he would have been like, he wouldn't even did that shit.
Nah.
He's like, oh no, I ain't fucking with that.
Because the Philistines came through, they seen King Saul and his sons. They chopped his head off, took his armor, and they displayed everything up there but the crown, because that heathen had already been there
Took it already.
and lied. Like that lie put that God sent him with the Lord. One way trip to the Lord.
Yeah, the Lord set him up.
Yeah.
Put the words in his mouth to say, and David was like,
It was all a testimony though. You know what I
And
mean?
out of all people, he tells David.
Right, you go right
He
to
tells
King
the
David.
big dog like that's popping or something.
yeah, David was righteous, bro.
Yeah, he's like
David was really moving in the spirit of the Lord,
Yeah,
bro.
he was.
That's why he was beloved, bro. David was really about the Lord, bro. And that's why it was so honorable what he did with Saul. Like, he didn't even look at Saul like it was his enemy.
Yeah,
Like,
and then it was dope because he was going by the law, because he even went to the extent to try to play music to get the thing off of him to stop.
Yeah, so,
And he didn't make that move. Then he almost killed him, took the piece of the shirt like Big Dog. I'm telling you, I had you, dog. I had you.
like, chill, bro.
Yeah, just relax, bro.
Let bygone, yeah.
That shit wild. Could have had them both asleep.
Yeah, but that's not even it.
Yeah, he ain't do it. That shit wild.
What's that one precept?
And then my bad. And even on David's behalf, he really didn't kill Saul because he had no reason. He really had no reason. He was just defending himself. Like, what was wrong?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't want to beat the troops out. Chill, bro. Like, you was wrong. Crazy.
I think it's in Psalms. It's basically, oh, here it go. It's a quick jab. Psalms 105 and 15. Them wrong, yea, he reproved kings for their sakes, is the point. Saying, touch not mine anointed and do my prophets no harm. So King David was on that. He believed he still, because hey, see, he figured Saul was King David's big homie. His son Jonathan, that was his best friend. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, King David was really moving in the spirit of the Lord, bro. Even in that, because he said, yo, they lamented from not only King David and the sons lost, but he had a lot of our people got put to death in that battle. So they lamented, and they like, all right, put this nigga to death. Basically, like, you gotta go. He said the blood is on your hands, bro. Like, I don't even know what you thought. Like, what you thought you was going to happen. You coming in there with a crown.
Now you taking accountability for what happened.
Right.
You
And you ain't even do it.
You ain't even had shit to do with it.
That wasn't nobody
That's what
but
you
the
get
Lord.
for coming and putting yourself
Right.
in it.
That's the Lord for sure.
Yeah, that crown. Imagine that crown fight. Ray, he just seen that joint like, oh.
And you gotta think about it like this. When he had it, they had to go like this with it.
Yeah.
70
Two
pounds.
hands.
70 pounds.
However long it took for him to get there and all that, bro, that's crazy, bro. It's crazy how like these things are written aforetime and for our learning, but how these events happen, bro. We be like, yo, if you're not getting the lesson out of that, bro, I don't know what's wrong with you.
And that's the spirit that Yahweh Shah was coming in when he was like, oh, love your enemies.
Yeah.
It's not going into you heathen. It's going into like you dealing with your own people. You gotta understand they're going to be against you because they don't have the spirit. But you can't sit here and try to, hey, fuck you, nigga. I hope you die. That's the wrong spirit. If people come against you, like, all right, man, you got it, and you pray for them, bro. And if they get it, because guess what? It might not be their time yet. But that goes to show you the true spirit of how the elect would move. And that's really what Yahweh Shah delights in. It's like when you got the spirit to pray for your enemies when they come against you. Because our enemies are just those who are not with us. But of those of our own people. Because you got people who come up here, Israelite Muslims, they'll profess Christianity. They might not necessarily be like a threat, like physically against us, but spiritually, they like, nah, man, I just, Christianity, Jesus, and he's like, all right, man, you got it. And I hope the Lord wake you up. And that's beautiful, bro. And if the Lord don't, at the end of the day, when we pray for the 2/3 death, guess what? We know that they're going to be resurrected back in the kingdom.
Right back there.
So we're not asking the Lord to kill them and then destroy them. It's just, yo, put these niggas to death, take them out their misery. Take them out of their wickedness, bro.
Get them out that bullshit.
And bring them back in the kingdom. And then we're going to be like, all right, man, you good? Yo, like, you good? It's like you said, our little brother, super Sadi, bro. Super in the world. Put that nigga to death, bro. Because he can't get right.
He ain't a
And when he come back, yo, all right, man, yo, you was drawing, bro, but you good now, man.
Matter of fact, he gonna come back like, I was fucking drawing. I couldn't get rid of that shit.
No, the reason why he gonna know he drawing, because he know this truth.
He got us.
No. When I tell you he know, he literally one time I said to him, I said, hey, bro, hey, look, I love you and all, bro, but you gonna know death by pain. He's like, I know. I said, what you mean? He's like, I know. I heard, I listened to everything y'all say. I said, okay, cool.
I'll say it, brother. That's how my little brother is, man. He out here playing with fucking literal fire, yo. We just basically going into this account. King Saul died. It was just this heathen. He came across his body, took King Saul's crown, right? Took it back to King David and was like, yo, I seen King Saul. He told me to kill him, so I killed him. He was already going to die, and I'm giving you his crown. Didn't kill him though. He was already dead. King Saul King David put that nigga to death. Yeah, he was already dead. The Philistines took the armor, they took everything. They came after the fact, but his crown was missing. But he just, mind you, we were saying the Amalekites was already raided. They had just raided our villages and took the women and children. And out of all nations, he claimed to be an Amalekite. He said, I'm an Amalekite. I'm living in your land, though. Lord linked him the fuck up, bro. Linked him up. That's in 2 Samuel 2:1.
Came to David claiming to be an Amalekite. That is the dumbest shit I ever heard.
I'm gonna grab this real quick. It's Proverbs 25 and 21. It says, if thine enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he be thirsty, give him water to drink. For thou shalt heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Lord shall reward thee.
Yeah, so basically, it's like the saying too, like when somebody do you wrong and you forgive them, even if they don't apologize, the forgiveness is not for them, it's for you.
Right.
So you're like, you know what, brother? I forgive you. I ain't even apologize. It don't even matter. The Lord's like, okay, listen, you, that nigga, he's cooked. Because he's not remorseful, but you are merciful. So I'm gonna bless you, him I'm gonna put to death.
He put some type of, whatever type of hell he on, wake him up, or he just a 2/3. And he gonna be brought back to the horns of the elect, man.
So you offer to help somebody that did you wrong? Hey, I ain't taking.
We want
Offer still stands.
We want mercy, bro. That's why we show mercy, man.
Exactly.
It ain't for you, bro. We want that. We all want mercy, man.
That's why even when you go through the scripture in the Apocrypha, you also gotta remember Yahweh Shai came to simplify the law. So even when in the book of Sirach, when it talks about help not a sinner, unless any good you do to him, you're gonna have to get judgment for that. You also have to understand context, and every situation is different.
Right.
If you know somebody is on the streets doing drugs and they're asking for money, and you know for a fact, if I give you money, you're gonna go buy some drugs, I'm not gonna give you no money. But you know what? Are you hungry? I'll go get you some food. Come on, we go in the store, order what you want. And he like, nah, man, I just rather have the cash though. Because I nigga know you, I'm not giving you no money because I know you're gonna do drugs. But if you don't got that spirit and you kind of like, here, I know you in the streets, boom, boom, here, a couple $, but you don't know what they on. So God, guess what? Ignorance is bliss. So Yahushua came and simplified, like, yo, just do good to them, and I'ma bless you for that.
In more of a babe years, we still babes, but in the beginning part of in the truth, I took it to heart for a second. I was like, dissing all of them, but after a while, I was like,
but
man.
you get understanding. You know what I mean? You grow and get wisdom. But if the choice becomes between helping one of y'all, helping one of them,
Oh yeah, 100%.
like my little
to a
brother,
gully, man.
if my little brother in the world, yo, bro, I need 500, I'm fucked up. But then when he go, yo, I need 500, I'm like, yo, bro, I ain't got it.
It says get to a galley, man.
Yep. I'ma always choose y'all over them. But if y'all didn't need it, my little brother came to me, yo, I'm fucked up, which I've already done. Here, bro.
Yeah, you showed him love, and he still did you dirty.
Hey, it's all good, bro. It's all good. He still hit me up. Yo, what's up, bro? I love you. It's all good. You need something? I'm here, bro. I mean, that's just who I am. But I, yeah, you know.
One of my favorites at the 5 as well. A lot of brothers are really messing up, and I you know what I mean. The Lord is going to put it on whoever the Lord is going to put it on to understand this thing. But doing the work in vain is heavy out here, and a lot of brothers don't know. It's heavy, especially
a lot of people doing it in vain.
yeah,
You gotta remember-
especially from this point right here, and you
Main reason why they're doing it in vain because there's no brotherly love behind it.
correct.
Right.
That's what I mean.
And these-
Or,
and a lot of these-
or pleasers of men.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of these brothers, they put too much emphasis on the work because they're trying to overcompensate for their lack of brotherly love.
Yeah.
The lack of true charity and brotherly love that they have, and they're pleasers of men, and they're very biased too. They show love to those that they want to show love to the people they respect. But to the people they don't respect and they don't know, it's kind of like, nah, man. So we've seen many instances of it, bro.
Yeah, you know it's love too. It was a brother, at my job. He was down in the basement. I know what that is. I saw his friend just oh shit. Shorty mad love. Put it to the side. Gave him some joint. He know how shy is. I said okay, because you know that you know this is a test now, and you know this is a stepping stone for you to get right. He said the reason why the Lord judged me because he was looking for a wife. I said I had to put him on a little more games. Say hey bro, that's not the case, bro. That's not the way.
Stop looking for a wife, bro. Just look for the Lord.
Look for the Lord, yeah. But
And if he
his
give you one,
reasoning
you can-
wasn't even on point. It was like, bro, that's not even how it go like that. There's nothing wrong with.
Oh, he thought that.
He thought about looking for a wife was the reason why the Lord judged him. Yeah, mixed all the way up. But I Salakia. Actually, the woman that he was dealing with was actually a woman that was married. He found out after the fact, and it was like, oh shit.
So
And
was he still messing with her? After
that
he found out?
part I don't know.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
He probably
Probably
was in
was.
love, like, damn, but,
Yeah.
you know, hey, the Lord, the fair warning was you finding out.
Yeah, so he said he repented. I believe he said that, but I gave him 1 Corinthians 10:13 as far as the temptation that the Lord can give you a way out of it. And I gave him Sirach 2, 3 and 4. And I let him read that and said, Shalom, he said, thanks, brother. And let him ride with that. So I just try to break bread with the brother because he was an Israelite, but because the situation was so bad, I had to still show love to him. And this is Matthew 5:22. He said, but I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah, shall be in danger of the council, but whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of the hellfire. And therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and their remembrance that thy brother had aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, which can be gone to the service of the Lord, that can't. And go thy way first, be reconciled to thy brother, and then come offer thy gift.
And this is mostly going to go into those that are of the truth.
Of the truth,
Because those are, Yahweh Shai even made it very clear, those that are serve my father or my brother, my sister, and so on and so forth. So this is primarily going into those that are in the truth because brothers have fallen out in the truth.
Yeah.
But if you have a falling out with a brother in the truth, reconcile. Now, granted, the person who is the offender is the one who has to initiate the reconciliation.
Yeah,
But the brother who's offended you still in your spirit have to give mercy.
Right.
Even without you in your mind have to forgive the brother before you even like forgive him.
Yeah, before he brother come at you.
So you can't go in. You can't go into.
Forgive you because I ain't can't fuck this. Right.
Yeah, but that's fine though. That's fine.
I'm
You
saying
ain't-
I've been through this. Cool.
Hey, look, we're gonna let bygones be guys, but you go over there, I'm gonna stay over here, brother. It's all good. But at the same time, though, when you get offended, if you in your spirit like, man, fuck that nigga, I don't care about that nigga. Nigga die.
Whoa.
Cameras on us, man.
Oh, sorry.
No, you good. You cool.
Let's go, Hamida.
Market Street is that way, right?
Market Street, that way.
Yeah, that way. Yeah, you good.
All right, man.
It's
Take
all
it
good.
easy,
It's all good.
See the head?
Yeah,
he got the Hermetic. He got that
That
Egyptian.
joint crazy.
He got the Egyptian chromosome
Shit
joint.
like a bowling
His wife
ball.
is actually a
No, that shit looked like
He
a,
said he don't have dreams, he had movies.
that shit was an obtuse. An obtuse.
And then the accent came right now.
So my man had the obtuse angle. That shit was like it was like a half block, half round.
Yo, I forgot about that shit, yo.
Obtuse.
GPS on that joint. I forgot what the name was.
Yeah, but yeah, man, you gotta reconcile. You can't come and do the work if you got issues with your brothers, man. A lot of you brothers who's doing this truth, y'all got issues with other brothers, man. Y'all gotta
And that's and that can easily be the Lord scripture when the Lord
and
comes.
even if that man or whatever he offended you and he didn't try to recompense or come remorseful, y'all still harbinging on the holding grudges. It doesn't matter. Y'all holding grudges. Y'all still every so often y'all bringing out, y'all talking shit. Like, let it go, bro. It's the Lord's. It's in the Lord's hand at that point.
Yeah.
That's the mentality you need to have. It's like, you know what? It's in the Lord's hands. I'm letting it go. If the brother, repent, cool. I forgive him. It's not. I don't even care about it. It's bridge under the water. I'm not fucking with him though, but it's bridge under the water. But at this point, it's the Lord's. It's in the Lord's hands. The Lord won't judge him. The Lord won't judge him. The Lord judging is beautiful. But if the Lord bring him back into the fold, that's beautiful too.
This is Ephesians 4:26. Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
Be ye angry. Right. You can feel angry. It's nothing wrong with feeling anger and
we in the
you
flesh.
mad. You like, man, you pissed off. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's how you react to that emotion that makes it sin.
It's all for building us up, bro.
It's like and we all feel it. You get mad. You know what I mean? But you don't act on it. You like, you know what? I'm gonna control myself. I'm gonna exit. You know what, brother? But for the sake of this thing, I'm going to depart myself. Just like some brothers will have issues with brothers and they'll leave the camp. And but a lot of times it's for bullshit reasons, but whatever. But if it's like issues like we've been into where you talking about you want to kill a brother, hate that nigga, at that point it's kind of like, you know what? You really feel that in your heart.
Did was show
So,
you love.
I gotta leave. I can understand you leaving the camp for reasons like that because when somebody got envy and jealousy, that shit don't really go away like that, bro. I'm sorry.
And yo, another thing
shit
too,
was- that
the
shit
Lord
was built
didn't keep that secret. It was the right time and the right moment where he had two other brothers on speaker
As-
to her
as a
too.
witness, yeah.
As a witness, straight up. And the brother didn't even know it was coming because the brother was talking to another brother and thinking that he was by himself.
Yep.
And the Lord exposed it out to the joint. We all heard
Because-
it. And the brother
Yep.
he was talking about was crazy.
With thunder and darkness.
Yeah, it came right to the light.
And guess what? And we seen what happened.
that shit
the
was crazy.
turmoil and after effects with that situation, man. Bro, just ripple effect with that brother. Hey, bro, it is what it is.
Just going in
And that was just one offense. There was multiple other offenses.
yeah.
That was just one particular pertaining to this brother, but it was offensive pertaining to all of us.
Hey man, all I can do is be shallow.
But guess what? We gave that
All I
brother.
can do is
Hey,
shallow
brother, I
minded.
forgive you. It's all good. But hey, it is what it is.
Brother, you brought that joint out in regards to what? Going to work in vain? Did you bring that one out?
More or less, I did. But
That's-
that's not
I'm
what
a
it
man
said,
back.
though. But it's just what it said.
I'm gonna land back though.
Go ahead, go,
It's
brother.
Ecclesiastes 7:16. It says, "Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? And be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shalt thou die before thy time?"
Yep, it's so simple, bro. Just don't do too much, but don't do too little. I said this to somebody yesterday. I said, you know me. I said I like to stay balanced. I'm never doing too much, but I'm always doing enough. You know what I mean? And that's just the way you gotta live, bro.
I be on my life. As long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I
Yeah,
do what I
like
want.
now when I say doing enough, obviously you
I'm
can never
like,
do.
Shalom, what you doing?
Obviously you
Going
can
here.
never do enough for the Lord.
Well,
But
there's
what
no
I mean
law,
by
there's
that
no
is
sin.
like
I'm out.
I'm always just doing what I gotta do for the Lord and trying to better myself. But I'm never doing too much to the point where I'm burdening myself, man. Or burdening other people, right? You know, I'm never gonna let my sins weigh me down. If I fuck up, I fuck up. But guess what? I'm gonna repent and I'm gonna move on. And I'm gonna try to do better next time.
It's the humility and learning from your mistakes. That's what the Lord wants.
Yep. And I'm gonna always seek to be better.
Yep.
I could be going out teaching, doing the work every single day, but I'm gonna always be trying to be a better person. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to character.
Yep.
You can do all the lessons, all the videos, wear all the fringes.
Retells the lessons.
You can have a beautiful Passover ceremony, get a lamb and a first year, do everything right. But if your character is fucked
Got a
up,
whole lamb roasted on the fire. Like, yeah, we doing it like real Israelites.
but if your
Brother,
character is
a
fucked
lamb
up, it
leg
don't matter. It
chopped
don't
up,
mean
dog.
nothing. F1 don't for that. Get 1 Corinthians 13. If your character, if your character is flawed, it don't matter, bro. Because what? You work in advance. Yahweh Shai said, right? Don't say unto me, Lord, Lord, if you don't do the things I say. You think that you was prophesying in my name, you was doing wonderful works, casting out demons, but you was really a worker of iniquity, man. You was really out here dealing deceitfully. You was being pleasers of men.
Yep.
You did the work for the acceptance and pleasers of men above you, and you had respect of person and judgment. Little guys, who you?
You should have been looking past the men above you.
Yep.
Give double honors, but look towards the Lord.
Yep.
That's it.
13 and probably like 10, 11.
Yo, it's crazy how so many Arab women swear we're part of their nation because they be drooling over us, bro. Every time Arab Jones, they be able to, I'm talking real Arabs, that when they be garbed up and they be having, bro, when they look at us, bro, they be like this. But nah, sweetheart, we Israelites, we not Muslims.
Oh yeah,
1 through 4, 1 through 4.
Yeah, I can say charity. Yeah.
It's 1 Corinthians 1, Salakia. 1 Corinthians 13 and 1. It says, though I speak with tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass and or a tinkling cymbal.
And charity is not modern day charity, what you think it is, where you just donate money to the poor and the poverty. Charity is brotherly love. Now, it is different forms. Brotherly love comes in many forms, right? But in general, all right, brotherly love is charity. All right, so go ahead, bro.
It's verse 2. It says, though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains, and I have not charity, I'm nothing.
Yep.
And though I...
Yeah, you go to 4, yeah.
It says, and though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, right? That's the charity that the world is
it's the
familiar
world's
with.
charity, yep.
Yeah. And though I give my body to be burned and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing. Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up. It says, that's 4. It says, doeth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, and thinketh no evil.
Yep. And that's, again, it's more in the brotherly love. So you're not gonna, when you deal with brothers, it's coming from the sincerity of your heart. You're always going to give the benefit of the doubt. All right, that's what makes you righteous in the eyes of the Lord. But you got a lot of guys that they'll deal with brothers and they don't give that benefit of the doubt. You come up to Shalom and they looking at you like, granted, I understand you got to prove a friend, but y'all be so puffed up in your knowledge and status and your tenure that y'all treat brothers like, yo, you can't talk to me. You got to go through channels to get to me. It's like, okay, I understand a certain order of things, but like, who are you, bro?
You're nobody. The truth is you're nobody.
Just flesh, bro. Just humble servants, as we should
Yo,
be.
brothers make them, you be making themselves higher than they ought to be.
You know how much money this little thing is making, bro?
And it's just shit that they can do in the crib.
3 people, 60 minutes, $40. 2 people. You got it.
2 people, 60 minutes, $44 total.
You got what?
Just to drive around.
You got 8 people on the drum right now.
Drive around Center City.
You got 8 kilos.
For an hour. 160 an hour.
No, you got 160.
8 people, $40. Two people is $40. 8 people, that's 4 times 40 is 160. 100 for an hour, 160 an hour.
All right, and you know what's crazy? I'd be like, yo, you know what's crazy? People get drunk. Can we get another hour?
Look, I saw him saying they're going to spin the block a couple
Listen,
times.
he probably used like $5 of gas an hour, if even that. Shit probably got
Driving slow.
driving slow
as shit. He catching every light.
just to sing songs and shit. They can do that at the crib. But you know, folly is
seen.
folly is. They
Exactly,
want to be
bro.
seen, bro. But yeah, that's pretty much the point, man. Y'all need to get y'all character together if y'all want to be right with the Lord. The scriptures say that you can't see the kingdom unless you be reborn again as a little child. Little children are humble. They're meek. They don't think about status and stature. I've been doing this. I've been playing on this playground for 2 years. You just came around here, buddy. You got to go through Billy and Bob before you can talk to me, before you can swing on these monkey bars. No. Children are welcoming, inviting. You want to play? You want to come?
They are.
And then when you know what I mean? So that's pretty much the point. Lord willing, you brothers and sisters were edified by this today's camp. We want to give all praise, honor, and glory once again to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bahawah, Kakwadash. Double honors again to our others and apostles who do well. Peace and blessings to the elect.